This is a quick video on how to read and understand your owner statement. On this first page here, it is a summary sheet. You'll see your information listed here at the top. The statement period is the period through which the statement is being run. So in this case, we're running this statement and it includes the dates between 2/10 through 3/9, and this was run on 3/8, which is the statement date. Here we have the beginning balance. This should match your ending balance from your previous statement period. We have total income. We're adding that in here. We're subtracting total expenses. Our adjustment amount here is going to include both owner contributions and owner distributions, things of that nature. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. And then, so if we add all of these things up, we get an ending balance of 600, which should match our total required reserve amount here. We have property management or maintenance reserves of 600, unpaid bills. If there were any here, we would hold money back for that. Work order estimates would also hold back funds to give us a total required reserve. And assuming that this amount, this ending balance, is equal to the required reserve, you will not need to make any contributions. However, if the ending balance does fall below the required reserve, you would see a banner here at the top notifying you that funds are required to be contributed, and you would want to log into your owner portal to make that contribution. You'll also see here total distribution amount for this statement period was $2,462, and you can note that that actually does match our total adjustment amount here as well. If we scroll down, the next page is going to be a transaction summary. This is a summary of all of your properties collectively. So it will be on a per chart of account or GL account basis. And you'll notice we have income listed here at the top. If there were additional income accounts, those would be separately listed here. In this case, we just have rental income. And then we have expenses broken out by GL account here and grouped collectively again by for the entire portfolio. We have one owner distribution across the portfolio for that $2,462. Again, if we take our statement beginning balance, add the income, subtract the expenses and the adjustments, we come up with an ending balance here. You'll also see a year-to-date running total here on the edge. Okay, this section is going to be the transaction details. So this is actually going to be your breakdown on a per property basis. So you'll see here again, we have our beginning balance. We have our one owner distribution. This is a collective total for the entire portfolio. But here you can see we have the individual property addresses broken out. So property one, this is all of the income and expenses that relate to property one on an individual basis. So you'll see line items for each of the expenses, line items for each of the income, and then we have a net total here at the bottom with a total net listed here. Same thing with property two, we have the income and expenses with a net number here. And then lastly, here at the very bottom, we see a statement net, which is a collective, again, of both properties in this case. We have a statement net of 4710. It is important to note that this decrease, this owner distribution, is included here in this net amount. The way that we get to the distribution amount is actually taking all of the income. So we would take this number here on the increase, this 4,423.41. We would subtract the decrease or the money out for each of the individual properties. And then in this case, because we had we were short actually coming into the month by 4710. So that's our 4710 statement net here. That's a deduction. So we're trying to make sure that we're running a constant reserve amount of 600. You can see we're short here. So I actually need to take this 4710 and subtract it from my distribution, or I'm sorry, from my income minus my expenses minus that shortage, and that gives me my owner distribution amount, which leaves me a ending statement balance again of 600. Lastly, on this page here, we have a list of the managed units. This is basically our rent roll. You'll see each unit listed here, whether or not it's occupied, the dates of the lease, the date that the tenant moved into the property, their current rent amount, the security deposit that we're holding on hand, and then if the tenant has a balance of any kind, that would be listed here as well.